The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
All right, Mike, if you would open us up with a statement about homecoming and the North Greenville Crusaders.
Well, it's great to be back on Mossy Creek for homecoming. No question about that. It's great to play at home again. 2 weeks on the road, and really been proud of how our football team handled the travel. Especially they were both day trips, and that's a different event in itself, time-wise. Concerns, those kind of things. They did a great job handling that. Homecoming is one of those special times. It's great to see people come back on campus, and that's what homecoming's about. And Carson-Newman's always a special place for homecoming. I guess the last couple of years, homecoming's had more football players back here than any time it's been. It's also a time of concern. There's a lot going on around you besides a football game, and you got to make sure your football team has got their focus. And I think we started that yesterday, and have a good work day today, and make sure we've got our eyes on the prize at what really counts at homecoming.
You talk about a lot of former players coming back. What's that like for you as a coach, and potentially some guys that you played with as well too? I know you have other fish to fry on Saturday, but there are going to be some folks who mean a lot to Carson.
Oh, absolutely. All of them are special, and that's why we started the program that we have, Eagle Forever, and that's been a great rallying point for many of our alums, and will be more, especially at homecoming. Because there'll be guys there that I played with, absolutely, guys that I've coached, players that I've coached their dad and them, which is scary because I started when I was 5. But it is a special time. There's no question about it, and they've all got great stories, and you just wish you could spend a whole lot more time with them. But you're right. They're here to the game. They want to see what this set of Eagles have in store, and so we've got. It's a lot about where kids learn about tradition. They learn about what other people have done and sacrificed to pave the way for them. So it's a good time.
Something happens that has never happened before. Some alums, if you can get 80 of them, are going to help form another cross for the current team to run through. What's that mean? That's an alumni-led thing too.
Sure, absolutely. I think that's great. It's be a great opportunity. I want those guys to look our guys in the eyeball, and I want our kids to see them. And I think that's going to be a great event if we can get that pulled off, and we don't get anybody run over. It's going to be a great thing. But we're really excited about that, and Coach Turner and Coach White are sort of organizing that and going to have them in a dry run and get them lined up. So I think it'll be great for our football team, and I think it'll be great for the people on campus to see that. That's what this program is about, and and it's part of being something for life.
You look at North Greenville. Will Hunter returns at quarterback. I know it's only his junior season, but it feels like he's been there for an eternity. What's he do to operate the Crusaders' offense efficiently and effectively?
Well, he's a great quarterback and does some special things for them. He's got a couple of running backs that certainly aid him in what he's doing, and they're a good football team. They've always been a solid football team. They're well coached in what they do. They have their defensive scheme. They have their offensive scheme. It doesn't matter. They're going to do what they do well, and I hope that's what we're getting to as a program, is you do what you do well, and then you never have to look back and say what happened. But Jeff over there has done a great job building a program, and those guys are solid.
It's hard to believe that they're 3-4. Certainly, they've lost a bunch of close ball games. How hungry do you anticipate them being when they roll in here?
Oh, there's no question they will be. They are, and that's it's not been that long, but it's a natural rivalry with Carson-Newman and North Greenville, and gosh, we've got to stop what they do best, and they're going to run the football as long as you allow them to run the football, and then when he does throw, he's got very talented receivers. They've got an experienced offensive line, so they're going to be a challenge for our kids on defense.
Look at the maturation of your offensive line. It feels like at this point last year it was hands in the air just trying to figure stuff out with all the injuries. Now you got 7 or 8 guys and there's competition, and all of them can potentially play. What's that like to have bred that over the course of a calendar year now?
Well, it's a lot better. There's no question. It's much better. You know, last year we played 11 games and never started the same group twice in a row. This year it's much better. They're growing. That's a position on the offensive line that is just not natural to make that change from high school to college football, and especially a lot of those kids played in the up position most of their career, and you're here in this offense and expecting them to come off the ball and get movement. We're still in the growing area. We're getting better. No, there's no question we're getting better. We've got to keep growing to get better, get tougher, get a little bit more stink in them coming off the ball. But they're getting there, and they got great hearts. And you look at Saturday's game and you rush for that much, you have that much total yardage. That has a lot to say about your offensive line. But gosh, we got, we still got a ways to go. We got miles to go before we sleep, baby.
You and I talked on Sunday. It was the first game this season where you didn't have a 3-and-out. How do you progress from that to finishing off some of those 6-play 20-30-yard drives where you end up punting?
Right. Well, that goes back to great expectations. All right. You try to teach kids you got to have great expectations. It's not going to happen if you don't expect it to happen. It's not going to happen by mistake. So, we really bragged on them a lot about no 3-and-outs, but we also pushed about, we got the ball the first time in the third quarter and we scored, I believe, the first time we had it. Well, then we don't score. Nothing changed. You know what I mean? The same people, same field. Everything was the same. We only had one turnover. Should have been a lot more points scored. We just got to keep working at that and getting better. And it's coming along. This is week 8. And, you hear people say, well, they're not freshmen anymore. They're not sophomores. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They still are. And it's a growing part. But, hey, it's fun watching them go, and they're exciting and they're fun to be around.
Talked a lot about the youth of pretty much across the board on the offense, but the 2 receivers, Darvier and Dorian, seniors, how important has their play been to the success of the offense?
Oh, been very, very much so. It's, you got playmakers, and that's what you want in that position. And those guys have been able to make plays, and when people play an option, they're going to have 8 in the box, 9 in the box. And they're just telling you there's the one-on-ones. And we told our kids, the Darviers, the Dorians, Ted and those guys, Q and all those people, you're going to get one-on-ones, you're going to get 2-on-2s. Well, hey, it's your job to beat that. It doesn't get any better to be a wideout than having a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-2 there. So we've got to continue working our way of doing things the right way. Just to say it's 1-on-1, that doesn't mean you're going to get open. It's their job to get their hands on your body and those kind of things. It's our job to get away from them, knock their arms down, and get open. So they saw. So we've made some big plays. We picked up that first down catch there at the end of the game by Dory Miller was outstanding. I told him Sunday I went up to snap and watching him in study hall and sitting and talked with him. I said, baby, I'm so grateful that you came off and attacked the DB the way you did and got open, because if that hadn't been a completion, I was probably going to fire myself, because that would have stopped the clock. So I was very proud of him from the way he did. Now, a normal guy would have just came off the ball when it got covered and, it would have been incomplete. But, boy, he went inside to go after the guy, made separation between him and the defender. And, Derek made a great throw.
Gave up the punt return touchdown at Wingate, but I feel like since then the special teams unit has been solid. How would you grade that group collectively? Oh,
there's no question. In the last 2 weeks, they've graded out as an overall group much higher. We're getting people to understand that special teams are about speed. It's about speed. It's about how fast you cover a punt. You outrun people that are trying to hold you up and keep you out of the lane. Same way with kickoff. And boy, our kickoff teams responded well. Had a great average of holding them this week. And, football hasn't changed since way back days. It's about field position. And what special teams do is they give you that field position. We still haven't broke one for a touchdown yet. We hadn't broke a punt return for a touchdown or a kickoff return for a touchdown. And to me, that's the ultimate. That's what you're aiming for. That's what you're looking for. And yesterday we were showing them we were 1 man away here, 1 man away there from making that happen. So we still got a lot of things to look forward to get better at.
Defensively, defensively, really the first time all year that the team had a great deal of success for a sustained period of time moving the football. Where's the area of biggest need to improve for this week?
Oh, I think it's getting back to reality. Okay, the week before it was a total domination there. I think a shutdown, and you have to be careful. Sometimes you told my wife and my daughter this before, and they're great football fans. You're never as good as people say you are, and nor are you as bad as somebody says you are. You're in the middle right there, and that's where you want to be. And you have to be alert to some of those things to keep you on your toes, to keep you focused. I think our defense, after watching that video and visiting with our defensive staff, I think yesterday was a good learning day. We put that behind us. Now let's go on and play like we're capable of playing, because we've played lights out, heads up, and we've done those kind of things. And we had some breakdowns Saturday that weren't typical.
We're used to, on offense, you guys having a great deal of depth, so many different playmakers, but on defense it feels like you have 20 guys that you can throw out there on any given play and make big plays. What's that do for the coaching staff, knowing that you have so many different guys that you can rotate in and out?
Well, Michael, it starts up front. A year ago, we were having defensive linemen in to play 70 snaps. That's not realistic. A kid can't sustain that kind of drive, that kind of quickness, you know what I mean, that it takes to rush up the field and rush people that are throwing the ball 40 and 50 times a game. The biggest difference in our defense has been depth. We can put some people in there to keep people fresh, and when you push the offensive line on defense, that makes better coverage for our secondary, our linebackers. It definitely affects how you don't get crossed over on the zone block. You keep fighting down the line because you got fresh legs. So the biggest difference has been there, but yes, depth has made a big difference in our defense.
A lot of times with first-year coaches, people want to potentially be overly critical of that head coach, but for you have so much experience on your coaching staff. How important has their help been to your transition to the head coaching spot?
Oh, no question. It's been seamless. And that's been from day one. We know what we have to do. We know what's expected of us as a coaching staff, and we're different than most coaching staffs. We're going to be great football coaches, but we want to be great men, and we want to be able to tell our kids the truth, and we want to tell them to lead them to a relationship with the Lord. So we've got a calling as a coach, but more importantly, we've got a calling as somebody that's a mission of this program.
You look at you mentioned North Greenville's running backs earlier in Ashton Hurd and Tracy Scott. What makes them so exceptional?
Well, I think they've got a great offensive line in front of them. That's always going to be the key for somebody that's a good running back. But they have experience. They have a knack of being able to jump, move, and find that little gap in the zone right there. And then when they do, brother, they explode. So they're a tandem that's been very productive all year. So it's a good matchup with their experience for their offensive line. Then again, there's experience there that helps time for the quarterback also. Any quarterback's a whole lot better when he can take one look and a second look before he's got to get rid of the football.
Talking about special teams, Elijah Holbert this past week pinned Mars Hill inside its 20-yard line on 6 occasions. How's your freshman kicker punter come along? Oh
goodness, he's done great. We've got him doing a couple things there, punting a regular deal, and then we'll do the shield and bring him out. But he had a couple punts in a shield where you're trying to go rugby, which is move the pocket outside to get away from the rush. But man, he's got a knack of turning that ball over and getting that big bounce and those kind of things. And on the kickoffs and then on field goals and things, he's a cool customer. Okay, he really is. He's a sharp young man, got a great family there in Knoxville, and he's been a great asset to us.
North Greenville defensively returns a few starters there as well. What sticks out to you about their defensive unit?
That's just the way they play together. There's not a this one's great, this one's not. It's a team deal. It's the way their slant, how they integrate their coverages to go along with that. You can tell that it's a well-oiled machine. You're not, they're sound fundamentally. You're not going to get them outflanked. You're not going to get them there they're going to keep things in front of them.